Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Tom Young, and Tom is a speaker, an author, and a marketing consultant with Intuitive Websites. I had the pleasure of listening to Tom, and as he worked with our Vistage group and reviewed several of our websites, I thought his presentation and his insights were so great, I couldn't help but want to share it with you. Tom, welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Scott.
You bet. So, Tom, can you tell everybody what it is that you do, what's unique, and how do you go about your process?
Well, it's a great question. So I'm based in Denver, Colorado, and I have founded a digital marketing agency. We have 20 employees now. We'll probably be about 25 employees by the end of the year. We're growing pretty rapidly. And we focus on what I call strategic digital marketing. And this is the concept of we help guide our clients toward their goals. We help our clients reach their sales and marketing goals. And we do that with a four-step process that we've developed over many, many years that we feel is essential to digital marketing. That four-step process starts with strategy, which is the idea of the translation of the benefits you provide as a company to your target market. Step two is the communication of that strategy, which we call strategic communication. And that's the idea that digital marketing today is all about content and the distribution of content, and websites and social media and email. It's all about getting content out there. So how you organize your content, how you write about yourself is step two. Step three is inbound marketing, which is the idea that you attract people to your brand through inbound marketing. And step four is tracking the results, using data to track the results. So if you have a goal to grow your business, that's all great. That's something that's really should be called a vision, right? We have a vision for growth. But this four-step process takes that vision and gives you a structure to make it happen. And we love step four because step four is key to digital marketing. Everything you do in digital marketing can be tracked. So you want to set up SMART goals to track the effectiveness of your tactics towards your big overarching goal. And so more or less, this has been at the core of my Vistage talk that I've been giving for over 20 years. And I also talk a little bit about how to build a team, what kind of seats you need on the bus, how to fill those seats in the bus to get digital marketing to work. And that's at the core of how we operate at Intuitive Websites. And it's really why we've been growing as fast as we can grow. We grow at about 20, 30% a year. We can only grow so fast because we have to find the people to put them on the bus too. And so for us, we grow as fast as we can add people. And there's been a new development too in what we do. And in fact, I recently did a Vistage webinar on ChatGPT and the advent of chat, what I call chat AI, which is basically using AI tools to create content. So as I mentioned, step two in our process is content generation. Well, now content can be created using AI tools at a level that has never been seen before. And
that seems to be, Tom, that seems to be all the buzz. And
well, it is. And the reason it's the buzz is because it is the biggest technological change since mobile. So the internet came out, it was fantastic. And then everybody had high-speed internet, and we had our computers hooked up to the internet. We could email and everything. That was great. That was a big, big move. Then we had mobile, and mobile was another big step because now we took everything mobile, and now we have Wi-Fi everywhere we go, basically. But now we have the ability to create content like it's never been seen before. So I call it the biggest step forward in digital marketing since mobile. And one of the things we'll do, Scott, is we can put the link to this webinar that I just did for Vistage out there for your listeners as well. It had a great response. It's still getting tons of traffic on YouTube. It's going to have thousands of views on YouTube. But the reason this is all so important is that there's no more excuses for creating content. And Vistage members are notorious for this. They struggle with creating content. They struggle with creating the right kind of content. Well, in this webinar, I show people how to do that, how to create effective content with ChatGPT, and how to do it in such a way that really benefits your team. You're not going to go out there and cut and paste what you get. from the chat tools, but you're going to use it to create content strategies and to create first drafts of content that can then become final drafts, which are published. And as we all know, for content writers, the first draft is always the hardest. Once you have a first draft, you're off to the races, and most people can work well with that. So that's in a nutshell who we are and what we do, and how we get results.
So Tom, can I retire my marketing staff and just rely on artificial intelligence, or what's the play here?
Well, there's two things that come to mind. What my agency does is we come in and fill the gaps on your current marketing team. So when you have a marketing team in place, for most Vistage companies, you just can't get to everything on the tactic list. So our agency comes in, we fill in gaps on that list, whether it's HubSpot, content, design, websites, whatever it might be. What ChatGPT does, it becomes a valuable tool to accelerate content timeframes. And the last thing we want to do is create generic ChatGPT content and load our websites with that. So we have to have the human element involved in this. And what is it the key to this? The key to it is the questions that you ask the chat tool. So a great question to ask the chat tool is, what are the specific benefits that people receive from our products and services? And be specific. Those benefits that come from the chat tool are a great starting point to what you have to feature on your website, you have to feature in your content, and what you have to feature as a thought leader. Then there's a second side of this, and that is, what are the risks? What are the downsides of our products and services? What do people stumble with? You want to know those too, and the chat is great at that. Chat AI can tell you the risks people have, the downsides, what they struggle with, because you can address those concerns as well. And you can go deeper. You can ask ChatGPT to tell you, well, what are the risks of no action? What are the benefits and risks that come with no action? And that's also great content. And it's even better than that, because you can go then to the ChatGPT tool and ask for interactive tools, checklists, code, and much, much more. So you can, for example, let's say we have a client that works in commercial roofing, and they have a program where they can come in and do maintenance on your commercial roof to prevent water damage. So water damage on a commercial roof can cause millions of dollars of damage, but preventive maintenance is just a few $100s a month or a year even, right? So ChatGPT can help with all the benefits, risks, plus they can create a calculator to show you the return on your investment in proper roof maintenance, right? So those are the kinds of tools you have now. You still need a human to ask the questions and organize the content, but now ChatGPT just took hours of work away from those humans and gave us a ton of help.
Wow, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
And I think it's evolving so fast that you're probably going to need an expert like yourself just to stay up on how to use it and what's the next evolution of the product going forward. That's
exactly true. And there is a big evolution happening right now. ChatGPT 3, which is what's available to us, is really a program for early adopters. It's a little bit hard to use. It locks up. It still gets overloaded with traffic. But the ChatGPT 4 that's coming on is much, much better. That's in the test phase. So this is only going to improve. Eventually, it'll be on our phones, and we'll be conversing with the AI chat as well. And there's still a lot of people that haven't used it, even though it's the fastest growing technology in history with 100 million users already. There's still a lot of people that haven't used it yet, and they're going to come around as well. So that's an exciting part of what's happening in digital marketing, and it can really help teams accelerate their efforts. So, Tom, what do you think the biggest mistake companies are making right now as it relates to the field that you're in? Where are they stumbling? Yeah, it's a great question. So I want to tackle that by saying that the biggest mistake is also one of the easiest to fix. And that is, the biggest mistake is they're not communicating clearly their value. And I see this on Vistage websites all the time. We need to clearly communicate our value in the language of our customers. And that starts with a tagline on your website that's very clear and direct. And it starts with content that supports your thought leadership. Companies that do that are going to accelerate in their growth, and the companies that don't are going to have users leave the website confused. I think that we take it for granted that people understand what's on a website. And as humans, we're inside our own heads. And inside our head, that makes sense because we live and breathe it every day. But great marketers live outside of their own heads and in the heads of their customers. So that content has to relate to what's going on inside the head of your customers. That's a big starting point. I still see Vistage websites that I look at and I go, what do they do? What is the exact value I get? If I referred them to another Vistage company, what value would they get from that referral? That question should be easily answered on a website.
Well, I experienced it firsthand when you spoke to our group. And I was lucky enough where you actually picked on the website for the company that I manage, and you asked several of those questions that you just brought up. And it got us thinking and caused us to change some of our philosophy and what we do. So it was great interactive session, and appreciate it.
Sure.
Tom, when you're starting to look at the future, what do you see on the horizon?
Well, with digital marketing, it's fascinating to me to see just how noisy it is and just how many websites and how many companies are out there competing. And I think that ChatGPT obviously is a big step forward, but I would encourage companies to start thinking more about their values and their mission and the depth of content around that. And here's why. Consumers have so many options. Let's have them pick an option to go with a company that shares their values, that shares what's important to them. Value. So look at your business from the standpoint of, hey, we do more than just sell widgets, or we do more than sell this service. And we have a mission and set of values around it. Start doing that now with your content, because you want to attract those like-minded people to your brand, and then they will stay loyal to you. And it's a great way to differentiate your competition. And I actually think in the coming years, ChatGPT can help you define that. Help you define that marketplace.
Yep. Boy, so much to dig into.
Yes.
So Tom, you're an author. Tell me a little bit about your book and more about what you're doing outside of giving speeches.
Sure. Well, I spend most of my time running the agency. And doing that. Then I do a lot of speaking, but I have 3 books out. My most recent book is called Sales and Marketing Alignment. And that book is written around getting sales and marketing people together to help with the sales funnel and the marketing journey, the sales journey that customers go through. And I'm in the process of revising my book, Winning the Website War, which is on the 4-step process. The challenge for me as an author is things change so fast that, I started writing this book, Sales and Marketing Alignment, before AI chat came around. So the new book will certainly talk about the use of AI chat in marketing and content.
I'm assuming you can pump out more content faster now with the technology than you ever could.
God. You can. And I just want to encourage Vistage members to focus on quality. In fact, you can start writing more emails and social media content with the chat tools, but write stuff people care about. Take the time to understand the benefits of your target market, so it's content they really care about. And also keep in mind that a lot of content on the web is still visual. So photography and videos is what really people gravitate to in big numbers. So make sure that's content people want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tom, how do people get a hold of you? What's the best way for them to connect with what you're doing?
Sure, absolutely. Intuitivewebsites.com is our website, just like it sounds, Intuitive Websites. And tom@intuitivewebsites.com is my email. That's the best way to reach me. If you're a Vistage chair, of course, you can find me on the Vistage website. But happy to connect and happy to have quick 30-minute calls with people. I do that all the time. In fact, I will do a 30-minute consultation for free with companies that want to have their website evaluated and looked at as well.
Absolutely. That's great, Tom. Thanks for sharing all that. And for everybody who's watching, I'm going to attach the link at the end of this video that Tom mentioned earlier, so you can get to know Tom and what he's talking about in a little bit more detail. But anyway, Tom, thanks again. I think it was fantastic chatting with you today, and look forward to keeping touch and learning as you're evolving the whole marketing business on your own.
Absolutely. Happy to do this. Thanks a ton, Scott.
All righty. Thanks.